A very good morning, students. In such a bright morning, let's learn about nature. So today we will be continue learning lesson number 18, ecosystems. So students, in the last lecture, we have seen what is biomes. So let's recall in a minute. What are biomes, students? Let's think about it. Can you please recall it? Biomes, large ecosystems develop in some regions on Earth with same climate, biotic and abiotic factors are called biomes. These biomes contain many small ecosystems. Yes, students, where there are same climatic condition, biotic and abiotic factors are also same, then such ecosystems are known as biomes. Okay, we have seen this in our last session. Now let's learn the types of biomes. There are two types of biomes found on the earth. First is land biomes and second is aquatic biomes. Let's learn both of them in detail. Now let's see what is land biomes. The first type of biome is the land biome. What is land biome, student? With the name itself, we can recognize it. It will be on land because it is said as land biomes. So, the biomes which exist only on land are called land biomes. Due to unequal distribution of abiotic factors, different types of ecosystems exist. Example, grasslands, evergreen forest, deserts, iceland, ecosystems in taiga, tropical rainforest, etc. So students, these biomes are only on land. Students, can you find grassland in ocean, in ponds? It will come under aquatic ecosystem. So grassland you can found on land and it is said as grassland. Evergreen forest, all for do students forests grow inside the ocean? No, forests are developed on the land, so it is placed under land biomes. Deserts, can you find deserts inside the water? No, deserts are plain land. You can find it on land. So these all factors are placed under land biomes. So the biomes which exist only on land are called land biomes. Once again, let's have a look on examples of land biomes. Let's see the first example of land biome, which is grassland ecosystem. So what is grassland ecosystem, students? Grasslands develop where rainfall is not enough to grow big trees. Yes, students, it is very much correct. When grass grows, it needs water to grow. So here there is no rainfall, there is no availability of rainfall. What will happen? The grass will not grow into big trees. So the land will be covered with only grass. So then it is said as grassland. So grasslands develop where rainfall is not enough to grow big trees. Vast growth of grass is found in these ecosystems. Longer summer and limited rain develop dwarf plants in these areas. Seasonal rains occurs here, students. So what happens? Dwarf plants. Dwarf means small. You can see small plants over here, but you will not find big trees. Okay. Animals like goat, sheep, giraffe, zebra, elephant, deer, cheetah, tiger, lion, etc. are found in this ecosystem. In the grassland ecosystem, you can find animals like goat, cheetah, giraffe, zebra, goat, sheep can feed on grass also, students. So they help the grassland help them for their nutrition purpose. So animals feed on that grass. So similarly, various birds, insects, microbes are also present in grassland ecosystem. So students, is it clear what is grassland ecosystem? Okay. Just have a look, student. Here in this image, you can see grassland ecosystem. You can see only grass has been developed. There are no big trees. So here the animals like giraffe, zebra, which can feed on grass, can also stay here. Okay, students. Now, the second example of land biome is evergreen forests. It's a natural ecosystem where variety of plants, animals and abiotic factors is found. Students, with the name itself is saying it is evergreen forest. So evergreen means there will be plenty of plants over here and big trees. So it is said as evergreen forest. It's a natural ecosystem, students, where you can find animals and also abiotic factors. So this is the second example of land biome. Students, just have a look on this picture. Here you can see evergreen forest where you can see plenty of green plants and big trees. Here abiotic factors are also present like air, oxygen, water. So this is the picture of evergreen forest. So students, what was the second type of biome? The second type of biome was aquatic biome. So students, what you can understand by the word aquatic? We know aquatic means water. So now we are going to see the lifestyle in water. So what is aquatic? Ecosystem. 71% of the earth's surface is covered by water and only 29% has land on it. Therefore, study of aquatic biomes becomes very important. According to area, aquatic biomes are widespread. So students, aquatic means where we can know the fish lifestyle, how fish stay in water, how they live in water, or how they survive in water. There are many aquatic plants also present in water. So students, there are two types of aquatic ecosystem, which are freshwater ecosystem, marine ecosystem and creek ecosystem. Let's see one by one. Students, let's have a look on this picture. The picture is showing you aquatic ecosystem, how the fish are present inside the water, how they lives inside the water. The first type of aquatic ecosystem was freshwater ecosystem. So students, what comes under freshwater? Ponds, lakes and rivers are included in aquatic ecosystem. So the ponds, lakes, rivers flow continuously. So these all things, that is ponds, lakes and rivers, are placed under freshwater ecosystem. So the transition of energy in this ecosystem is through water currents and river. Decomposers are at the bottom of water reservoirs. They decompose dead bodies of plants and animals, convert into abiotic factor. Students, in the last session we have seen how the food chain or how the interaction amongst the biotic and abiotic factors goes on. The biotic factors, which comes from plants, which are producers, they then consumers, and from top consumers how the microorganisms comes and decay the material, that is decomposers, and how the decomposers gives again abiotic factors. So it's like the same in the freshwater ecosystem. The decomposers are present at the bottom of the reservoir. What they do when an animal is died inside the water or any plant is died, they decompose all the dead animals and dead plants, and then it is converted into a biotic factor. So this is how the freshwater ecosystem goes on. Okay students, is it clear? This is the picture of lake or pond. This is how a lake or ponds look like. Just have a look students on the image of lake and pond. So students, our second type of aquatic ecosystem is marine ecosystem. In marine, ocean and sea comes. So what is marine ecosystem? Let's see. Marine plants grow in these ecosystems. Shallow water contains small fishes, prawns feeding on algae. Now students, what is shallow? Shallow means on little depth. In ocean or sea on a little depth, you can find small fishes and prawns. The central part of sea has less number of aquatic living organism. In the central part of the sea, there is less number of aquatic living organism. So, large fishes are secondary consumers. Ocean has a large amount of nutrients. The bottom of oceans has more number of decomposers. Dead bodies of plants and animals waste materials are decomposed by bacteria. So students, in marine ecosystem, the food chain is carry on, or the interaction between consumers and producers goes on. Small fishes or prawns feeds on algae, then the consumers come. The consumers are large fishes which eats small fishes. And when large fish dies, what happens? The decomposers come to decay the body. So this is how the marine ecosystem flows goes on. So students, just have a look on marine ecosystem which is going on ocean. Here the small plants, algae, are present, which is eaten by small fishes, and small fishes is eaten by large fishes, and which are said as consumers. And after they die, all decomposers come. So this is how an ocean ecosystem runs. So students, this was all about ecosystems, how they run. Now let's have a look what destroys the ecosystem. Let's study diminishment of ecosystem due to human interference. Students, what do you mean by diminishment? Diminishment means to reduce the quality or quantity, or to reduce the size of anything. In short, it means destroyment. So diminishment means destroyment. So now we will see how the human activities destroy the ecosystem. So many human activities have side effects on functions of ecosystems and cause their diminishment. Example, mining and excessive cutting of trees change the use of land. So interactions between biotic and abiotic factors are also affected. What happens, students? As the population are increasing, what is the step taken by we human? We cut trees, we are cutting forest, and we are making large buildings. This destroys the nature, this harms their ecosystem. So different human activities have different effects on ecosystems. They can be transformation of an ecosystem from one to another, or extinct of a species. Students, because of our activities, what is going, the species are coming to an end. So we have to stop all these activities to save our nature, to save our ecosystem. Just have a look on this picture, students, how humans are cutting this tree. What will happen after cutting this tree? The oxygen level will reduce. Oxygen is taken by us only. They are helping us. And what we are doing? We are just cutting it for our use, for our purpose. So is it right, students? It's totally wrong not to cut trees for our use, for our benefit. Let's see various activities responsible for diminishment of ecosystem by humans. So student, the first reason behind the diminishment of ecosystem is increasing use of resources due to increased population. As population will increase, we will need more space. So we will start affecting the ecosystem by cutting trees, starting mining, and etc. So humans are the consumers in an ecosystem. Consumers means we cannot produce our own food. We depend on plants and animals for our food. So humans are the consumers in an ecosystem. Ecosystems can provide basic needs in normal conditions, but due to increased population, man kept on snatching natural resources on large scale. Students, if we are in a short population, we are in less quantity, ecosystem, that is environment, is ready to provide our basic needs in normal condition. But what happens? Due to our increased population, we snatch their natural resources on large scale. So changing lifestyle demands more than necessary. So that has increased stress on the ecosystem and has generated vast amount of waste. First of all, we are harming the ecosystem, we are harming our environment, and on top of that, we are generating lots of waste, which is a very bad thing, which is affecting the ecosystem very badly. So the reason behind diminishment of ecosystem was increasing use of resources due to increased population. Now let's see the second reason. So students, before seeing the second reason, let's have a look on this image. What is this image showing us? In this image, you can find garbage thrown everywhere, which is harming the land and also the aquatic life in the ecosystem. So, because of this garbage, very very bad things badly we are going to affected. Not we, but also the aquatic life in the ecosystem is going to be affected. So students, the second reason of diminishment of ecosystem is urbanization. What you come to know from the word urbanization? Have you heard it before? What is urbanization? Urbanization means increase in number of people living and working in a city. Large cities are developing nowadays. So this means urbanization. Due to continuous process of urbanization, more and more agricultural lands, marshlands, wetlands, forests and grasslands are being destroyed for buildings and other basic facilities around. As a result of this human interference, ecosystems either change or get completely destroyed. What happens, students? Due to increased population, we need large buildings to stay. So what humans are doing? For constructing the large buildings, they are cutting the forest, marshlands. The agricultural lands are also developed into big buildings. They are harming the agricultural land, they are destroying the agricultural lands. On the agricultural land, they are constructing buildings. So this is not good, students. Cutting forests, destroying the environment and making facilities for us. So this is the human interference in the ecosystem, which is changing the ecosystem or which is completely destroying the environment. So the third reason of diminishment of ecosystem is industrialization and traffic. What happens here, students? Raw materials required for industrialization are obtained by destroying forest. Forests provide the raw material for industrialization purpose. So the forests are destroyed and the materials required is being taken by destroying the forest. So this result in destruction of forest. To provide the amenities for increased traffic, many times roads and railways are built through forests and wetlands. What do you mean by amenities, students? For convenience, for our comfort. What we are doing to for to decrease the traffic, many times we built roads, railways through forest and wetlands. By building roads through forest, what will happen? The ecosystem will get destroyed over there because we are going to cut the main thing, that is trees. So raw materials required for industrialization are obtained by destroying forest. This result in destruction of forest. To provide the amenities for increased traffic, many times roads and railways are built through forests and wetlands. So this is also a big reason why the diminishment of ecosystem is taking place due to industrialization and traffic. The fourth reason for diminishment of ecosystem is tourism. What is tourism? When people visit scenic places mainly for nature walks, entertainment and visit to sacred places, what happen? A lot of amenities are created for these tourists. Amenities means for their comfort. A lot of things are provided to them. So what happened? This causes destruction of local ecosystems due to increased stress. The persons staying in that local area have stress, so the destruction is caused on local ecosystems due to increased stress. So tourism is also one of the factor which is responsible for diminishment of ecosystem. Next factor responsible for diminishment of ecosystem is large dams. Now how large dams will going to affect the ecosystem. So dams cover vast lands, so the forest or grassland in that area get converted into aquatic ecosystem. Dams also lessen the water current in lower area, therefore the previous ecosystems in that running water get destroyed. So students, what happens when we construct dams? The forest and grassland in that area gets converted into aquatic ecosystem. When dam is constructed, everywhere water is going to come, so whatever grassland and forest will be there, they will come under water. So the forest and grassland in that area is converted into aquatic ecosystem. And the next thing what happened, the water current gets lower in that area. So because of this water current is less, the ecosystem which was running first inside the water will get destroyed, because there will be no more water current. What will happen? It will affect the aquatic ecosystem. So this is how the large dams construction diminish the ecosystem. So students, this all five factors was responsible for diminishment of ecosystem. Now let's see another concept. Our next concept is wars. Why wars, students? Let's see. Differences and competition over land, water, mineral resources, or some economic and political reasons lead to war among human races. Students, there are limited resources of land, water. Humans make competitions among themselves to achieve these resources. So, war takes place. Heavy bombing and mine explosions are done in wars. These are not only life threatening but also change or destroy natural ecosystem. Students, due to mining is a resource where you can earn money. Due to mining, what happens? A destroy of natural ecosystem and life threatening takes place. Thus natural disasters which take naturally, they are earthquake, volcano, floods, droughts, are human interferences result in changes or destruction of ecosystem. Students, due to human activity, we are increasing the population. By increasing population, what happens? It affects the ecosystem, and when it affects the ecosystem, it occurs naturally in the form of disaster, which is known as natural disaster. Due to human activity, earthquake, volcano, floods takes place. So never to harm the ecosystem. Natural ecosystems must be protected as they maintain balance in the biosphere. So students, what we learned, never have a competition for achieving something in ecosystem. We have to always protect the ecosystem. Why? Because natural ecosystems maintain balance in the biosphere, and it also helps us. Okay students, is it clear? So students, we have end with the chapter. So in this session, what we studied, let's recall in a minute. Today we studied the types of biomes, in which we studied land biomes and aquatic biomes. And the example of land biome was grassland ecosystem and evergreen forest. And in aquatic biome, we have gone through freshwater ecosystem and marine ecosystem. And after completing ecosystem, we have gone what things affects the ecosystem. We have learned diminishment of ecosystem due to human interference, in which we saw how the human activities are responsible for destroying the ecosystem, in which first was increasing use of resources due to increased population, second urbanization, third industrialization and traffic, fourth was tourism, and fifth was large dams construction, and the last concept we seen was wars, how war takes place and destroys the ecosystem. And what we learn, students, not to harm the ecosystem, because natural ecosystems protect as they maintain balance in the biosphere. We have to protect the natural ecosystem because they are maintaining balance in the biosphere. So students, this was all about today's session. Please re-see the video repeatedly to get your concepts more clear. Thank you students for your attention. Have a nice day. Thank you.